Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FundHub Radio. We are so excited today to be joined by Yadi from Carillon Elementary in Oviedo, Florida. Hi, Yadi. Welcome to FundHub Radio.
You so much for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. We are so excited to talk about Carillon Elementary and the unique things that you guys having going on with your fundraiser. So first, we're going to start off by having you just tell us a little bit about Carillon Elementary, the typical enrollment there and maybe some different things about what makes Carillon Elementary unique.
Yes, so like you said, we are located in Oviedo, Florida, and Carillon is actually one of the biggest schools here in Seminole County, elementary schools. So that's one thing that makes us super special. We are currently at about 980 with enrollment this year.
Wow.
We usually range between 980. I think our largest enrollment was about close to 1,000 1 year. So that's
Wow.
usually where we stay. And then I think one of the things that makes our school so special is just the community involvement. We are such a close knit community. Everyone loves to be on campus. Everyone loves to be helping in some way or form. And so it's super special when we can see how any way that they can, the families always like to be involved. And I think that's what makes our school very unique and different when it comes to PTA and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that maybe that even attributes a little bit to your high enrollment at Carillon Elementary.
What?
People see the close-knit community and they're like, I want to be a part of that.
Yes,
That's
it's
amazing.
it's pretty impressive.
Well, I know you are a part of the PTA there at Carillon Elementary. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your role and why you're here joining us today on FundHub Radio?
Yeah, so I've been at Carillon for 7 years now, and I joined the PTA right away. I knew that was something that I wanted to do, and currently I am the PTA president.
Okay.
This is my third year as president, and this is actually my final year at Carillon.
Oh,
So it's bittersweet. Lots of great memories. And so yeah, it's just I love serving the community. I love giving back and being a part of this.
that's awesome. I love that. Do you guys know how you or do you know how you fundraised at Carillon Elementary prior to using Get Moving? I know you've only been in the PTA for 3 years, and I know you guys have been working with us since at least 2019. I want to say even maybe before that.
Yeah.
So, do you have any idea on what you guys did before Get Moving?
So before Get Moving, I know they had used other fundraising units to come into the school and kind of just take over like how, the everyday, you know, work that goes into a fundraiser.
Okay.
And so with that, they saw the goods and the bads, and then they found Get Moving, and we've been using that ever since.
Okay, so you guys were always kind of doing, to your knowledge, like an a-thon style event-based fundraiser, like a fun run or something of that nature.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Awesome. So then kind of moving on from there, tell us a little bit about your guys' specific fundraiser at Carillon and how you guys are able to have so much success with your event style fundraiser. I know it's probably changed a little bit over the last several years that you guys have been with us, but I'm especially excited to hear about the Comet Challenge from this year and how that all worked for you guys.
Yeah, so for the most part, it always starts off with us, finding something that the school needs, how we can give back to the kids, to the school. And that ranges between, an indoor playground, an outdoor playground, grants for teachers. And so we pretty much start there. And then it's all hands on deck when it comes from that. We usually try to start planning this around July, like
Okay.
early July, so that we can start, there's a lot of back ends of work that not a lot of people see, like getting the website ready, coming up with a theme. Then we have to like think of what the school needs and how we want to incorporate that with the incentives, ordering the incentives and all of that stuff. There's so much work that goes into it. So there are a lot of hands, and we're super, grateful that we have so much help with that, because it's not an easy fundraiser, but we get it done.
Yep. And so do you guys do like a fun run, is it? Or
Yes.
okay. Because
Yeah.
different
So
schools will do like dance-a-thon, read-a-thon, so I just was making sure you guys do a fun run.
yeah, we do a fun run. This year, we usually try to plan the fundraiser. We give ourselves a 2 week window. Once we start off with a huge rally. We we attend all of the lunches, and we present a cute video to the students or the prizes. Just really get them excited, and
Yeah.
we talk about safety and how they can like help fundraise, and we really try to push that. Um, Registration, because it's like everyone knows once you register, you're more likely to share that link, you're more likely to want to see those incentives start to go up. So we really try to get the kids excited about that registration.
That's awesome. And I think I know I've seen it, but let's tell some of our viewers and our listeners about how one of the ways that you guys really get those parents and students involved is through that. I know you guys put it on Facebook this year, but kind of almost like a mid fundraiser video to kind of update parents and students on where you guys are at and how much further you have to go to kind of promote that excitement. So tell us a little bit about that, what goes into that, and how that helped you guys.
Yeah, so I think everyone knows by now social media is huge. And
Absolutely.
right when the pandemic hit and we started fundraising again, we knew that that was going to be our window for communication with parents. We knew parents were already watching our Facebook, and we really wanted to get them involved. And so we were just like, we do a content calendar basically.
Okay.
And we tried, we started about 4 days before the rally, and we put something in there, at least two things twice a day, whether it's a video, whether it's going live, whether it's a graphic, promoting everything. The more information that the parents have, we show where, our thermometer is going. If something happens throughout the day that, we think the parents need to know about, we go live and we share that. And the feedback has been incredible. They love that. And so they feel like they're almost a part of it.
Yeah.
And then like you said, your website is so easy to navigate. The parents find it so interesting when we share these fun facts about the website. So it gives them more of an incentive to want to go on and kind of see where we're at and
Yeah.
all the things they can find.
That's awesome. I love that. And I think something that is also interesting and something to consider as like a parent group is that social media engagement. And as parents are becoming more millennial, um, it's important to speak to them the way that they're consuming the content. So,
Yeah.
maybe the flyers, they can be good, but making sure you can send those flyers home, but just making sure that you're engaging with them digitally is super important as the parents get not younger, but as millennials get older, I guess is kind of what I'm trying to say.
And to be honest, it's easier that way. Like we
Yep.
even see the numbers. I
Yeah.
mean, the majority of our fundraising happens online.
Yeah.
We send home a flyer, we send home the envelopes, so we can get those in school donations, but the percentage of what we get in school versus what we get online, it's such a huge difference that it's like, okay, then that's how we need to communicate with them. That's
Right.
how we send them the information out.
Absolutely. Well, that's great. Speaking of money, I was wondering what was the Comet Challenge for everybody that doesn't know. Comet Challenge was Carillon's name of their event this year. What was the goal that you guys had set, and then what did you guys end up raising?
So it's called Comet Challenge because we're the Carolina Comet.
I
And
love it.
so Comets is actually an acronym for each grade. So it's 6 letters. Each grade has it's almost like a little like figurine kind of thing. A student drew them like 10 years ago, and we've just continued with it.
I
So
love
each
it.
grade is like Challenger, Orion, Mercury, and so on and so forth. And so this year, our goal was $50,000. And so a huge portion of that goes back towards funding all of the programs that we have for the PTA for this school year.
Yep.
And then last year, our fundraiser, we were trying to raise money for a playground, which we
Okay.
got it.
I love it.
So this year we called it like a phase two, where
Okay.
now we were raising money for the playground shade. And so
Okay.
our goal was 50,000, and we closed out at 63,000 and
Wow.
change. It was it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love hearing schools exceed their goal. That's super amazing. And you can probably attribute a lot of that to not only your guys' hard work, but that communication that you're having with that parents and constantly engaging them and sending that out. That's what's going to get you those exceeding your goal.
And I think another thing as well is, so like you said, we end our comment challenge with a huge fun run. And
Okay.
so what's great is that all the kids get to participate in the fun run. PTA actually purchases a shirt for each student, so they automatically get a free shirt
Okay.
for that school year. And then I think what the kids are most excited about is that we do a water balloon gauntlet for all the students that reach 100.
I
So
love that.
they get to throw water balloons to the principal and to our head coach, and so that is a huge highlight of during the fun run. And we go in and we track those numbers, and we're like, your student's only $5 away, and sometimes parents don't even realize it, but
Right.
sending them those messages, they're like, oh yeah, I'll send the $5 so they could participate in the water balloon gauntlet.
Yeah.
And it's such a huge hit. They absolutely love that.
I love that. I think I've spoke almost not on every episode, but on almost every episode I have highlighted those experience-based incentives. I think that they totally like you said, it's like, well, I want my kid to be able to participate, so I'll donate that
Yeah.
extra $5 to $10 or whatever it is. So just having those experience-based incentives, they're almost free, if not free. Like, what'd you have to buy? The water balloons. It's not like those heavy overhead incentives that are going to probably be lost in the car seat or something like that in the next
Exactly. It's an
couple of
experience.
weeks.
Yeah,
But
they'll
they're always good.
get that.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said it's an experience, so they're
Yeah,
always going to remember that.
exactly. They're going to be in 25 years old saying, hey, remember when we got to throw those water balloons in our principal? So it's like
Yes.
I highlight that almost every episode just because it's so important for different PTA groups and parent groups to understand that prizes don't have to cost a lot of money and they have a huge impact.
Yeah, and I think another thing too that we love is that we have it's kind of like reaching our goal incentive. And so we're actually coming up, we're going to be during our trunk or treat, one of the things that the students wanted to see was our three principals perform a live performance, kind of like a girl band.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so because we hit our goal, that's also going to be happening. So that's another experience that the kids are going to be able to like be a part of and see, and get to like laugh and make fun of them. So that's awesome.
I love that. And it'll even be kind of good too, where except for the students that won't be at Carillon next year, it's almost like creating that, like, oh my gosh, remember last year when we got to see the teachers do the girl band and stuff like that? It creates excitement for the years to come as well.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome. I
Absolutely.
love it. Well, let's talk a little bit about. I know that I actually just saw here on my sheet that Carolina has been teaming up with Get Moving since 2017. So it has been before 2019, even in our system that I saw. And you guys are hosting the annual Comet Challenge. What tools and resources do you guys use that have helped Caroline raise so much money? Is it specifically FundHub? Maybe we kind of spoke a little bit about the promotional side, but is there anything in FundHub that you love that helps you guys, and maybe talk a little bit about that?
Definitely, I think predominantly we use FunHub for everything. I mean, you guys make it so easy. You send us videos so that we can look back and see what else is on the website that we can use to promote. You give us, samples of flyers and promotional graphics that we can use. I think our favorite thing, and I think this is one of the things that you guys highlighted on your website, was if we call it like our fun facts. And so, right around the halfway point of our fundraiser, we love talking about the fun facts that the websites have. So, we talk about like our star students, how many star students have hit 100? we have the map, and people love to hear about that because they get to see everywhere in the United States where we've received, fundraising money, where people have donated from,
Yeah,
and we have our all around the world where we get to see what donations have come in from Spain. I think we this year we had Spain, Greece, um, Puerto Rico. There was just so many, and so
that's
people love
awesome.
to hear those numbers. It almost kind of helps break it down when you share those little numbers here and there, and then it's like, oh, okay, I want to be a part of that. I want to be able to say that I helped you guys get to that. So that's one of the things that we absolutely love about the website.
I love that. That's awesome. I love that you kind of came up with your like own name for it, like the fun facts. Like that's super cute. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, they
Oh,
get excited about it.
that's so fun. So one more we have two more questions, then we're going to kind of wrap up here. My one more that I want to talk about here is that I know that within the past year, or maybe it was a couple years, you were a guest at the PTA convention in Florida that Andrea was at. And you guys, Andrea is Carillon's personal event coach for our listeners that don't know, but she was at a PTA convention and you guys got to meet in person there. I'd like for you to maybe explain a little bit about what a PTA convention is, how that helps you guys at Carillon Elementary, and for anybody that's thinking about maybe going to one, how that helped you guys and maybe is effective for your fundraising.
Yes. It was so nice to meet Andrea in person because, like I said, I've been participating in PTA for 7 years. I think Andrea and I met over email like 4 years ago, and that's literally what our relationship has been. So to meet in person was so awesome. It was
I
so
love
incredible.
that.
It was so much fun. We looked at each other and knew exactly who we were. People were around us and they were like, who are they? And I'm like, we've known each other for years, but this is the first time we meet in person. And I think that almost left an impression on
Yeah.
everyone that's around us because get moving, like you get your person and
Yeah.
that person is there with you, as long as they're at with the business and they navigate and they help you along the way. So that was super nice.
I love
Um,
that.
I highly recommend that anyone who is on PTA, especially for the Florida PTA convention, that you go. It is such a beautiful um it's done during a weekend, and it's definitely an incredible opportunity for you to learn more, see how you can better equip your PTA so that you guys can give back to the fullest potential that you can. There are so many
Absolutely.
things out there that we don't know about, and if we don't learn and we don't hear about it, then we can't bring it back to the school and share it with our families. You get
Right.
to meet other units, you get to share ideas, and it was just so great to see people come up and be like, oh, I've heard about Carillon. What do you guys use for your fundraiser? And we share, get moving. And we love to like be able to just share how easy it's been for us. You know, as long as you have a unit and a community that likes to work together, it's doable and you can do it. So I
Yeah.
highly recommend that if you can have, a couple of people from your PTA go to the convention, you get to meet so many vendors, you get to meet so many people, and you end the week, filled up with so many ideas and things
Yeah.
that you want to bring back to your board, and it makes the year even better.
That's awesome. I love I've been to a couple myself. I think they're super fun. They have a great like upbeat vibe to them. And then also it just like leaves you with having that motivation of having that like in person. I mean, so many things are done over technologies these days that it's really cool that, once a year or once every other year, even it's just good to go refresh, reset, see all
Yeah.
those new opportunities and just get to see other like-minded people as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Yadi, I'm going to ask you one more question here before we get finished up. And that is just that I want some final thoughts. Like when it comes to event-based fundraising, do you have any advice to parent teacher groups that may, just if they're thinking about going with a thon style fundraising of any kind, what would you tell them? And any last final thoughts that you have for our listeners?
Yeah, of course. So, again, before we end, thank you guys so much for just being so
Oh,
supportive
of
to our
course.
school and just helping us throughout the years. As you can see, we've stuck with you guys because it's pretty awesome. You guys are great. I think my biggest, I guess advice that I could give to other units and schools that are planning a fundraiser is preparation and just planning. Like the more you plan and like think ahead of what to come and how you're going to navigate this whole thing, that's key.
Yeah.
And then opening the doors to anyone. Like you have your core people that are on PTA that want to help, but then just letting people know that it's open for everyone. There is something for everyone to do when it comes to a fundraiser, whether if you can come for 30 minutes to help organize the prizes, or you can be there for 3 hours and help us distribute things, or help us with ideas on how to what we can put on the website. There's always something for everyone to do. And the more you invite people in, the more they know about it and the word spreads, and then
Yes.
people want to be a part of it as well. It's super exciting. We love it. So yeah, I think that will be my biggest recommendation when it comes to fundraising.
Yeah, that's great advice. I think that that's super, helpful, especially like for those schools that don't have a really big PTA or parent group, like just being able to like say, hey, anybody's welcome. You don't have to be in the
Yeah.
PTA to help. We could use you. So I think that's great advice. And we're so excited that you were able to join us today. We love Carillon
Thank
Elementary and all the success that they have had with us over the years. I also want to thank you, especially because it was your last year at Carillon. We're going to miss working with you, Yadi.
There's a
And
great team. There's a
yes,
great team staying, and don't worry, it's gonna continue to get better. So don't worry. We'll
totally.
stick around.
I just wanted to send a thank you to you on behalf of Get Moving, but also on behalf of Carillon Elementary. I know they're super lucky to have you. So I just wanted to give you a little special shout out.
Thank
And
you.
I want to thank our listeners. Thank you, everybody, for coming to another episode of FundHub Radio. We love hearing all the new tips, tricks, and ideas that different schools have to bring for all of our listeners and viewers. So thank you again, Yadi. Thank you, Carillon Elementary. And we will see you guys on the next episode of FundHub Radio. See ya.